Have you ever noticed that when it comes to bending over backwards just to get something you really want, you end up hurting someone who didn't deserve to get shafted out of something they really wanted? Well, that's what Lincoln and Clyde found out in the episode I'm going to talk about today. So join me as I, SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, bring you another retro review from past seasons of The Loud House. Cue the intro! Today's episode is The Waiting Game. In this episode, Lincoln and Clyde try to win favor with their classmate Chandler so they can be invited to his birthday party, even if it means having to take advantage of Lori's new job to get what they want. I know a lot of fans are quick to point out how stupid and dangerous it would be for anyone to go to a sewage treatment plant for a birthday party, but in its own cartoony way, the episode was just making use of the typical storyline where the popular kid in school is having a party and they only want to invite the kids they think are cool. I personally would have chosen a different and cleaner venue for the party, but I still understood the concept nonetheless. This is also Chandler's debut episode, and it's one of his more tolerable appearances in the series. He comes off as the stereotypical popular kid who's known for having the best birthday parties, hence the reason why everyone practically adores him. He also has no problem taking advantage of others to get whatever he wants, which is made very obvious when he overhears how Lincoln was getting free stuff from his sister Lori, who got a job at the Games and Grub thanks to Lincoln putting in a good word for her, and her goal was to use the money to buy a dress for an upcoming school dance. Speaking of whom, I like the way Lori was presented here. She wasn't as overbearing or downright mean compared to her previous appearances in the first season. She came off as a more level-headed teenager, and I liked how she didn't furiously lash out at Lincoln when she was initially forced to work on the night of the school dance because she had to make up for all the free stuff she was giving him. What I find interesting about the overall conflict of the story, besides the fact Lincoln was literally in the middle of two people who could give him what he wanted, or I guess what he felt he needed, was how everything was stringed together through the idea of someone using someone else to their benefit by low-key reminding their victim of what was at stake if they didn't comply. Like Chandler figured out Lincoln and Clyde wanted invites to his party, which explains the sly tone in his voice when he found out Lori could get them free stuff, which in turn they could give to him. He also held out for the longest time in giving Lincoln and Clyde those invites because he knew he could drag them along for as long as he wanted since he held all the power in giving them what they deeply desired. On top of that, Lori was guilted into giving away all that free stuff, a lot more than what she was actually allowed, when Lincoln kept reminding her that she wouldn't even have her job had it not been for him. So Chandler and Lincoln milked their respective victims until they each got what they wanted, and yet Lincoln sacrificed the opportunity to go to Chandler's party so he could fill in for Lori's shift while she went to the school dance. That act of maturity I greatly appreciated, and even more so with Lori being quick to thank him for filling in for her. Lincoln may have taken a big loss having gone through all that sucking up to Chandler for nothing, but allowing Lori to have the big win like she had wanted to have in the beginning was just as satisfying. Overall, this episode is fairly good for the story it wanted to tell, and for teaching the important lesson in learning who your real friends are, and more specifically, who your real friends aren't. Between that and Lori looking absolutely stunning when she wore that Queen of the Sea dress, this was still enjoyable for what it was. With that said, I give The Waiting Game a 7.9 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of The Waiting Game. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.